We talk football and current events, sitting and chatting with the very best guests. With two Scottish boys and we're loving it. So if you like witty banter, check the former #1 podcast on iTunes. Sitting and chatting.
Hello and welcome back to the Sitting and Chatting podcast. I'm Liam Whyte.
I'm Allan.
I'm some dude that they found in the street.
Or more commonly known as Neil McCallum. Nah, but it's
Couldn't
good
find
to
you on the street. We're not allowed out in the streets.
Yeah, true, actually, yeah. We spotted you on Zoom, Google Maps. But it's good to have you on, mate. We sort of half talked about this for quite a while now, getting you on, but we finally managed to do it. Obviously, would have been better in person, but circumstances means I'll probably never see you again, so this is the best as we can.
Very true.
It's just because I'm doing the other end of the country.
No,
I mean, you were closer to me when you were in Jersey, so.
Yeah, no, true. That shows how bad it was. That I was a lot closer to you when I was living in Jersey. But yeah,
Where is it you stay? Where is it you stay?
Cambridge.
Ah, right, fair enough. That makes sense. Because I was struggling
It's a
to work that
shithole.
one out there.
yeah, you
Nah,
couldn't quite work
You
it
said
out.
it, not me. I just want to put a disclaimer out there as well. I am currently scrambling on my dinner, so feel free
Show
to
the
take
audience
conversation.
what you're eating. Make them jealous.
Yes, marvellous spaghetti bolognese.
Thanks by yours finest.
Courtesy of my good self.
Professional setup as always. What are you on, Neil? Brewdog?
Yep.
Did you get your
Hazy Jane?
nice? Did you get your free cans that they were promoting to save the environment?
Yes, I did.
Of course, I knew if there would be anyone in the world that would take up that opportunity, it would be you.
Oh,
Yeah, but-
literally, my mates all just messaged me like, "Oh, Brewdog's giving away free tinnies."
Oh well, they know you well.
Mates all messaged me, "Brewdog's giving away free tinnies," and I was like, "Yeah, I know, I've got it already."
Lewis,
No, I got that, and then when I finished that one, I've got some water.
Oh,
So.
aren't you proper? I don't think I've ever seen you drink water. I don't think. Nah,
Hey, I
but
fucking but the number one thing I fucking hate down here is the fucking tap water.
that is a
It's
true
fucking
Scottish
shite.
argument. That is a true Scottish man right there.
It's because it's the truth.
I know, preach it.
There's no argument really about water. Water tastes the same regardless of where you get it from. End of
No,
story.
that's a load of shit.
Jamie, I
Yes.
respect your opinion, but your opinion is wrong.
Right. Well, I'd listen to somebody if they want to fake Cambridge. All I'm saying is water out of tap is the same as water.
I'm no fake Cambridge, I'm a Ouija, yeah, JK.
Aye, but it's I said you're staying in there. You know, it's the same thing.
Basically betrayed your country is what he's insisting.
Aye.
But I mean, one of us does love the Queen.
I mean,
and
there's
two of us
an
don't.
Englishman here that lives in Scotland, so
Yeah, no, that would be a real problem. But bringing it back on course, I suppose, Neil.
Aye.
We'll start with you, like we start with everyone else. What's your earliest memory?
earliest memory
Come on, must
was
be a
at a
good
party when I was really young. I
On the
remember I
session.
ran inside, looked at my cake, and my cake was a butterfly, and then ran out. And
Any
that's
particular
my
reason?
earliest memory. Of course, it's based around cake.
Was that
so-
was that your birthday cake? Why a butterfly?
Yes, it was.
Why a butterfly?
I was a weird kid. I'm a weird adult, so weird kid.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And obviously, as you claim you're a Ouija, but let's be real, you're actually not a Ouija as much as you like to try and pretend you are.
I'm a Ouija.
Nah. You grew up on the very much the outskirts of Glasgow. You're not a
It's still
Glasgow.
Glasgow.
I don't know. I've never. There's more fields and buildings from where you're from, so I doubt that you can exactly call it that.
Where is it you're from?
I mean, going by what you're saying, Liam, then you're from a motorway. So
Yeah, but you know what? I'd rather have the pollution. Quick access, mate. I don't want to be surrounded by horses and shit like that.
I mean, you spent a fair bit of time in Aberdeen, and that's just fucking cheap. So
It makes a valid point.
Yeah, no, true, it does. You win on that. Yeah, no. So, Alphon, yeah, the
That
joys.
was where I went to school. That's not where I lived.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like that sort of thing. Isn't that the constituency or what they call it? Isn't that like the council area that you stay in? Yeah.
Kensal was Stirlingshire, but it was like the edge of Stirlingshire.
Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, it is basically right next to Glasgow, so I don't know how they exactly counted it.
Where is it actually from? Where did you live? Where did you grow up?
Strathblade.
Where?
Nope.
Strathblade.
Froze a screamer.
Yeah, my internet is terrible.
Yeah, the joys of Cambridge.
This podcast is not sponsored by Virgin Internet because they're fucking shite.
Whoa. We'll take a sponsorship.
Yeah, mate, if Virgin Media gave us like 20 quid tomorrow, I'd back it all the way.
Exactly.
I'll give you 20 quid tomorrow.
I will happily take any me and Jamie will happily take any endorsements right now, But yeah, so what was growing up in Strathblane like then? What was it like? Because obviously it's a bit different than growing up in the centre of Glasgow. Shite.
But I mean, all I'm going to say is it's just a knockoff Dunblane.
It's a knockoff Dunblane.
I mean, that's just not true.
You've just stole the name. That's all you've done right there.
That's just not true.
You're from Balfron, which is more Stirling than it is Glasgow. So
I'm not from Balfron, so.
You're more from Cambridge.
Square go, cunt.
Once you've had another beer, you'll run up and take.
You and me are going to have a falling out, Jamie.
Yeah. It's fine. I think I could take something for Strathblane.
Nah, but like, what was it like? Honestly, like, did you genuinely hate it, or was it just all right?
It's a place. There's not an awful lot to do. Fucking rode my bike a lot. It's got some great bike trails around there. That's about it.
You and your family were always like sort of the outdoorsy lot. Like, you always see like these families that are like, climbing mountains.
No, I think my dad was. My dad made me and my sister the outdoorsy lot.
Yeah, true. I suppose that's a good way of putting it. But like, when you say
my mom would just get drunk with your mom and it would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, no, true. It does work like that. So, for context, Neil's known me basically since the day I was born. That's how far back we go. Long time.
Since he was totty wee.
Totty wee, and I'm still totty wee. I've not grown much. But it's like, our mums worked together briefly and have since been long distance friends for quite some time, and thankfully, you and me have also managed to keep up our friendship despite the miles being quite big now. But like, see going back to like the biking and the outdoors. See going back to like the biking and the outdoors and all that. See if you didn't live in like the countryside and all that, would you have said that you would have grown up to be like that, be into like the biking, be into like the mountains, be into all the outdoorsy gear?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you think so? Even if you didn't live there?
Because the whole thing is like, if you're like out in the forest or on top of like Ben Lomond or something like that, it's just fucking stunning.
It is.
Which it's a big reason to do it. I know you've done the Westie, haven't you?
Yeah.
Aye. So like some bits along the Westie, it's just stunning, and you can't see anything else like it in the world. So.
Aye, but there's a lot of midges.
I reckon just because of that, I would be.
Are you able to keep it up then since you're down in Cambridge? Is there a lot of like, nothing?
No. Okay, put it this way: the steepest incline in Cambridge is about that.
A challenging bike ride for yourself.
Yeah, Cambridge is not very good for biking or hill walking. It is like the flattest place I've ever seen.
Well, I mean, I suppose it's good if you're learning how to cycle.
I'll put the wee in on our bike soon and just year across a field.
Poor child. But to be fair though, you went in, Strathblane. You weren't always from Strathblane because you did live in America very, very briefly, I suppose.
I think I was there for 3 years.
Oh, is it as long as 3 years?
Aye.
Do you have any memories from it at all? Because what age were you when you moved out there?
I was 6 months when we moved out, and I was 3 when we moved back.
No, so you probably don't even remember it at all then, do you?
I remember a few things. I remember my mum running a red.
You're just outing your mum on a podcast. That's great.
Diplomatic community. It was not diplomatic community. Statute of limitations. It's so long ago, it doesn't matter. No, remember my mum running a red. Me and my sister throwing bark at swans. And
you're not setting yourself up for like Scottish people moving to America. It doesn't sound like you're doing the country proud.
I mean, have you seen Americans?
It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
So there's one thing that me and my mates used to do when we were younger. It was whenever tourists would come to Strathblane, we'd always be like, "Oh, so are you guys coming on the daily haggis hunt today?"
Did people actually?
Every time without fail, they believed us.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure I've done the same as well from my cousins that are from Jersey. I'm pretty sure when we were in Aviemore, we were able to persuade them that there was grizzly bears and haggis that roamed the woods.
I mean, up in Aviemore, there is the potential to be bears running around because they've got the nature reserve with them not too far away.
Yeah, but
you know.
I know, but we were saying that like they're pretty much as common as like cats and dogs out there.
Fair.
But so like, why is it your family moved over to America in the first place anyway? Was there a particular reason?
Dad's job.
What was
Dad's job. At the time he worked for Motorola, and then once he worked for Motorola, he got poached by Nikon, worked for Nikon, and then Nikon went, "Do you want to go back to Scotland?" And he went, "Yeah, okay."
What was he doing there? Like, what was his job as such?
It is something to do with the chips that go in the machines that make microchips.
All right. So I'm kind of surprised then.
Big brain stuff.
Technical stuff.
Yeah.
I'm surprised then there was job opportunities for him back in Scotland in that kind of field then. I thought that would have only been like in America that you would have got in that position.
Oh no, it's stuff like that's mad. Like so companies that do it, usually they are big multinational companies. Like Nikon's a Japanese company, obviously.
Yeah.
So, like they've got branches in Germany, France, Scotland, England, they're all over the place. So it's more just a case of that's where they want you to be based, but you can go pretty much to any of their facilities and work. All
right. And then obviously, eventually from that, like I said, moved back to Strathblane, moved to Strathblane. You weren't like from there originally, were you? Like as soon as Oh, were you? And then moved to America.
Yeah, that's where we lived for 6 months.
Yeah, right, okay. Well, so like moving on a bit then, I suppose, into your earlier life and teenage years. What was that like then? What was describe Neil McCallum as a Wayne? What was he like?
Well, are we talking a Wayne or a teen?
I'll say Wayne and then moving on to teen.
As a Wayne, hyper.
Yes, that's a good way of describing you. You were
as a teen, an asshole.
No, I wouldn't say that you're an asshole. I just say that you went through like your sort of gothy evil face. Gothy evil face.
The fuck you saying, bitch?
But
not a phase, Mom.
It really was. But like, I don't want to say it's like a bad way, and I know it's a bit difficult for viewers to kind of understand, but for those that haven't met like your family, but I have truly never met someone who's like so different compared to like the rest of their family. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because like
no, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, because like I'm pretty different from my mum, but there are like some similarities there. There's very little similarities between like you and your family.
Aye. Music-wise, me and my dad are quite similar. That's about it.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I suppose that was more of a reason for you to connect, I suppose, was the music sort of side of things.
Yeah.
Whereas, your personalities, I would say, is still very different.
Oh, just... Weeshty. Child in the background.
How dare the children interrupt the grown-ups' business? So so why do you think then? Yeah, because like for me at least, it felt like you went through like one of, I know it's like a stereotypical like teenager face change, but I'd say that you went through it like, I'd say more so and faster than anyone else that I knew or was friends with. Do you think there's like any factors that influence your change, or do you reckon it's just a part of growing up?
I have no fucking clue.
Because
I reckon one day I was just listening to music and then just went, yes, this. Because I remember, actually I can tell you what. So I remember one day, I was just sitting at home and I had the radio on, and it was like Radio 1 chart or some shit like that. And I was listening to it and I just thought, wow, this is fucking atrocious. And then put Kerrang Radio on, and then it kind of just ran from there.
You had your music epiphany or whatever, so to speak.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, saying that now I will literally listen to anything as long as it's noise.
As long as it's just anything to stop the silence.
Stop the ringing.
Then, like, the joys. So what was like high school and that then like for you? How did you enjoy it? Did you hate it?
Oh, I fucking hated it. Hated it until 6th year. But 6th year was fucking class.
I think everyone hates it until 6th year.
I think 6th year was class because you just didn't go to school and no one cared.
Yeah, nah, it was like you're treated like an adult. Well, I wouldn't even say you were treated like an adult. You just didn't care at that point. I think you're right.
Literally, I remember so I was really, really bad at English. It took me 3 years to pass it. When I eventually passed it, I did get an A, but it took me 3 years to pass it. And I remember when I was literally sitting in a lesson one day, and the teacher comes up to me and goes, "Neil, what are you doing?" I was literally just sitting there and I was like, "Sir, I'm sick of this. I've been doing it for 2. This is going to be my 3rd year. I don't want to be here." And he literally just went to me, "Okay, you can leave then." I was like, "What, really?" And he went, "Yeah, just, you can come and drop in another class if you're free, but, I'm not going to teach you if you don't want to be taught."
And you're like, "Great, I'm off to the pub."
I literally, I think I just went home that day and went to rugby training or something like that. And eventually I did actually just realize, I actually need to do this if I want to do anything with my life. Not that I've done anything with my life, but
No, that's not.
But yeah, so I did it, and eventually I got an A. But
no, I think you're sort of underselling yourself a wee bit. So like, I can cut us out if you don't want it to be in, but if you don't mind me saying, you're obviously, quite badly dyslexic like myself. And you had to go through the shit of school and that. I did. But like, so you
I think they got it when I was in school though, because I got literally from first year of high school, I got people to read and write my exams for me. I still had to dictate and see what I wanted, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, it can't be fucking easy to get an A from that point of view, because I mean, I know the struggles of having fucking dyslexia.
I mean, it's an A, but it's an A with a big fuck off asterisk next to it saying this was a 3rd attempt.
Yeah, but, who cares about that? No one has to know. They just see the A on the bit of paper and then they're like, "Oh, do you know what? You got an A, decent."
Yeah,
decent. I think that's well decent.
Well, for me, I'd be like, yes.
I got an A. Decent.
The thing was, when I got the A, so when I was applying to unis and stuff, I needed 2 Bs, and I got an A and a C.
But that was enough, so I get balanced out.
Yeah, because of that. But I didn't realise that an A and a C equated to 2 Bs. So I was sitting there, I was like, "Oh shit! I better go to clearing." And then I go onto my UCAS, and she's like, "Oh, you've been accepted." And I was like, "What? Tenny's on me tonight, boys. Let's go."
I wish I got it that way around. I thought I had the right results and then I didn't get it. Oh, the joys. But like credit to you, man, because a lot of people would fucking flop under the situation. I've seen it myself with folk that have dyslexia and like mental health issues and all that in school. So you've done well to be able to come out the other side and pass. So fair play.
Yeah, but then I dropped that uni 2 years later, so
Yeah, but we'll get to that. But we'll get to that. But there might have been some other circumstances that forced it. Maybe a small circumstance. a small
Small,
tiny
loud circumstance.
But going back
yeah.
to going back to going back to like, you know, music and all that, you know, you are a man that enjoys the sesh and in turn festivals. What's the best festival
Yep.
you've ever been to?
Download Music Festival.
What
Hands
year?
down. That's a tough choice. I'd say 2015. 2015 was really good.
Who was performing? Do you remember, or
Pardon?
do you remember who was performing?
So 2015 was Slipknot, Muse, and who was the last one? Can't even remember the last one. Who was it?
Great.
Oh well, can't mind. Oh yeah, they were there, and I fucking hate Muse, so I didn't go see them. I saw, what was it? I think I saw Marilyn Manson instead. But no, it was just awesome because, like, you know, the music's good for me, obviously, but it was just such an awesome thing. I didn't meet a single dickhead the whole time I was there.
That sounds pretty rare for a festival.
Yeah, and when there's like 60,000 people there, you're just kind of like, what?
It's in England as well.
So
That sounds unlikely.
You know, that was good. 2016. Oh no, it was like genuine. It was just fucking class. I didn't meet a single dickhead. I'm not saying there weren't dickheads there, because there's fucking dickheads everywhere. But I certainly didn't encounter
the
one.
Download Festival. Is that the one where there's like 3 categories and then there's one headliner for each one? Like the way.
Yeah, so that's Reading and Leeds you're thinking of, I think.
See, if you look at the posters of Download Festival, there's always like the Slipknot's at the top, then it's Muse, and then like Kiss, for example.
Yeah.
And then like all the other ones underneath. Is that how it goes?
So the way it works is there's 4 stages. You've got the headliners for each stage, and then there's other bands working around it as well.
Ah, right, okay.
So obviously, you know, a band like, for example, Slipknot, they're on the main stage. Then you'd have like a smaller band, like a band called Carry on the second stage, and a smaller band on the third stage, and the smallest band with the 4th stage.
That makes sense now.
Yeah. So, like, how many do you think you've been to in total then?
Well, music festivals or gigs, because that's 2 very
Nah,
different
music.
questions.
Well, music festivals first, because
music festivals. Download. Wicker Man.
We're gonna fill countdown.
6. I went 6 music festivals.
All right. How many gigs?
I went to Download twice. I went to the last ever Wicker Man, which was awesome. And I've been to a music festival near you boys called Down the Rabbit Hole.
Down the Rabbit Hole, where Joe, our former guest, did perform one year at. Yeah.
Where was that?
Joe, the boy that done trap music, he performed it Down the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah, I'm not joking. It's literally in my mate's back garden.
That's lucky then for him, and probably shite for his parents.
Oh, I mean, it's the most middle class camping you've ever done in your life. If you get cold, you just go and sleep in his living room.
To be fair, they could probably make good money for that, just renting their house out for a few days for the festival.
Ah, they could. But it's, you know, it's not like it's a big festival. It is pretty small, but it's just no one really cares about anything. So, you know, let's leave it at that, because I'm not sure what strikes you'll get on YouTube for saying the rest.
No, mate, we're good. You just say whatever it is that you need to say that doesn't get you incriminated. That isn't incriminating. So am I right in thinking as well you met your current partner at one of them as well?
Yeah, I met my missus at Download.
That's cool. And you're still together? That's nice.
Yeah, still together, 1 kid and another one on the way.
Oh, the joys.
Yeah. They're expensive, but my God, they're cute.
Makes up for it in the end.
Yeah.
So we'll get on to it eventually, but then we have, you know, you're enjoying yourself music-wise, and then you're going up to uni. You had an interesting time at university, shall we say?
Yeah.
I will say, Neil, you're possibly, considering as well that I live in Scotland, and I think that you're possibly the best drinker I've ever met. That's quite a compliment, I've never truly seen someone like you that can handle their booze as well as you could.
Well, I got voted biggest alcoholic from a group of friends at uni, which was
get like a medal with that.
I got my picture on a PowerPoint presentation, and then a tinny. Uni. Pardon?
Just to fuel the alcoholism.
Yeah, pretty much. Uni was an experience. Let's say that. Many drunk times. Introduced you to a very good game, Liam, that I think you're still a fan of to this day.
Of course, drunk FIFA. It's still. I don't know if you can see it, but it's still, the rules are actually still on that whiteboard to this day. I love drunk FIFA. It's easily my favorite game that ever exists.
If you want to up your tolerance, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, the levels that you make people drink in that game, it's quite impressive, to be perfectly honest.
The levels that we just drank in general, I don't know how someone didn't die.
So like, it's just kind of like every time you concede, you need to drink and shit like that.
Yeah, like, it goes out.
Anytime you do anything, you need to drink.
Yeah,
I was going to say, like, I would not drink if it was like scoring goals or assisting or that.
Oh mate, it's fucking mental. It's like, if the ball goes out for a throw in, it's like 2 drinks. If the ball goes out for a corner, it's like however many drinks. Like every single thing in the game, bar basically passing, is a drink.
Just passing the back for 90 minutes.
No, it's like if you take a shot, but your shot's off target, that's like 5 drinks. It's like, if you get a red card, that's 10 drinks and all that. It's fucking. In fact, I would recommend it to those at home. If you, normally I meant to say don't try this at home. I think it's fucking great fun.
It's great fun. Just make sure you don't have to do anything important for the next 48 hours because you will not feel up to it.
Yeah, so the last time me and Neil done this, we had already been drinking a bit beforehand, and we decided, let's play some drunk FIFA. And for some reason we decided, we'll play one of the old because we would have been in PS4
because it was the last FIFA I'd actually played.
Yeah, so we went back and put on the old 360 and found one of the very old games to go and play. But because we were already quite smashed, we thought, this will be funny. Let's play against the computer at the highest difficulty, and we got beat 14-0.
I am a poor FIFA player as well, by the way. I am a very poor FIFA player. The best way I can describe my FIFA abilities was, so I was just playing a normal game of FIFA one day against one of my mates. He was 4-0 up at halftime, so we swapped controllers, right? So I had a 4-0 lead, and he came back to win at 6-4. That describes my FIFA abilities.
I'd say that happens, but never happened to me.
I'm just bad at FIFA.
I think most people are, to be fair. It's unfortunately the rare cases like Jamie that are actually half decent at the game.
Oh, half decent, what an insult.
I mean, he's no better than half decent. If you see this pro club's ability, Neil, it's fucking.
I'll pretend I never heard it.
I know, because next time you'll never fucking pass the ball to me again. But that was a great wee drinking game that you introduced me to, which was much appreciated. And it was good as well that you surrounded yourself with flatmates that also enjoyed it to the same degree as well.
It'd be slightly concerning. It'd be slightly concerning if you played it by yourself, to be fair.
No. just a shite night in, just oh dear.
Exactly.
Oh no, so one of my flatmates, right? So you know how you're watching the footy, you'll have a tinny, right?
Of course.
He didn't understand the concept of that. We'd be watching the footy, and we'd be like to him, "Hey Oscar, you want a tinny?" He'd be like, "No, I don't want to get drunk tonight." And we're like, "We're not asking if you want to get drunk. We're asking if you want a tinny." And he just didn't understand the concept of social drinking.
Nah, see, this is where you lose me, because I can't just have a drink unless. I think Liam knows this, but I can't just have a drink unless there's an occasion or there's a need. I can't just like. I'd rather have a drink of Diet Iron Brew or Coke, whatever it may be, rather than have a drink of alcohol just on a standard Wednesday night.
So I mean, I wouldn't do it like Neil's saying. The only reason I would drink if I was in the house as well, if people were around, but also two, if if me and Doug are just messing about or something. I wouldn't drink in the house normally, but like I do enjoy the going out down to the pub for like a casual pint with folk. I do enjoy that.
That wouldn't bother me though, because that's an occasion.
Ah, right. You're just talking about for no reason whatsoever.
I'm talking like purely in the house. You're sitting watching the film by yourself. Let me just open my tinny. That's not for me.
But this is the thing that we weren't by ourselves because I had my two flatmates.
Yeah, it's like a get together.
I get that. I wouldn't back Oscar in this situation. But what I'm saying is, it's the whole social. The thing is, it's different though, because it's always the free, isn't it? Like,
aye.
So I don't know. Fuck it. Have a drink. Why not?
That's pretty much was our attitude, and none of us finished. So
The thing is, though, in defence to him, he does know what you're like, though. So he was probably going to think, if I open this can of beer right now, it'll end up in me playing drunk FIFA until 4 a.m. next.
No, like literally, like it was literally. This was just. It was the Barca Real game. I remember it was the Barca Real game, and it was the one that I ended 4-1. I can't remember who it was to. And me and my other flatmate Ian were just sitting watching it, just having a beer, relaxing. And then Oscar comes in from work and we're just like, oh, you want a beer? And he's like, oh, I don't want to get drunk tonight. We're just like, it's just a beer, dude.
Yeah, so it's like Jamie was saying, some people just can't compute.
Yeah.
Especially in different cultures, I suppose, because obviously Oscar isn't from the UK, so maybe that's the reason why.
You say that, he's fucking lived in the UK longer than he's ever lived in Poland. So.
Ah, right. Well, yeah, no excuse then, Oscar.
No excuses.
Watching, you're a shite bag. So I suppose actually for university, I now realise we only actually talked about the alcohol side of things. I didn't even say where you went or like what you're doing. So where did you go and what were you studying?
I went to Robert Gordon University and I was studying bioscience with applied biomedical science.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not as hard as it sounds. It's pretty much just DNA does this, bacteria does this, go grow some hamster kidneys.
So, I mean, that sounds pretty cool. How many hamster kidneys did you grow in 2 years?
So I didn't grow any hamster kidneys, but I did grow a woman's tumor.
I didn't think that was coming.
So there's a type of cell used in labs called a HeLa cell, and it's named after the woman that the cell was taken from. And it was taken from a cancerous tumor from her that was removed, and then the scientists then sort of grew these cells, and now they're sold en masse because they're really, really good to do testing with.
Okay.
So it's called a HeLa cell. I grew some of them.
So what would that job? What sort of jobs would you get with that then? Like that degree? How'd you have done?
You could either be highly desirable at the minute because you can go do testing.
For like
can
COVID.
Work in a hospital. Yeah, like literally the amount of people from my course that are just constant COVID tests at the minute is ridiculous. You could also go work in research, so you could go and create a vaccine, or you could go and work on like a research project of, how does this, for example, tea affect the bacteria in your gut or something like that. You can go do stuff like that. You can just work as a normal not researcher, tester in a hospital. So they say someone says, we got to get your bloods done. They send it to you, you test their bloods. Loads of stuff you can do with it, and I was really interested in it in high school, and then I got to uni and hated it.
Why? Was it just was it just not what you expected?
Most of my lecturers weren't very good, despite the fact that I RGU at the time, I'm not sure about now, was considered one of the best universities in Scotland to do this degree at. And I'm seriously questioning how that actually was with how bad some of the lecturers were. Like I remember I spoke to our class rep one day about how bad one of the lecturer was. My class rep brought it up with the head of course, and the head of course literally came back to us and said, yeah, we get this complaint every year. We can't get rid of her though, because she's the only one that can teach this segment.
Well, there's no one else that they could hire.
No one else on campus that could do it, and they didn't want to hire anyone else to do it. So, yeah, that wasn't very good. The labs were good fun, but a lot of them was just boring, repetitive stuff of what you'd done in high school, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So
like,
you know, oh, let's stain an onion cell with some iodine.
Yeah.
I could do that in S2.
Yeah, even I done that. Jamie, I think even you may have done that.
Yeah, you'll have done that, Jamie, trust me.
No, trust me, I wouldn't have.
Jamie barely made it to fourth year, but even he would have still done
I'll tell you for why I know I didn't do that. Because I was banned for science. I wasn't allowed in that corridor.
Which is quite impressive considering your form class was on the science corridor.
Quality, wasn't it? I was allowed to that first door, and then I was allowed to walk straight down the corridor and back out. That was it.
My abiding memory of high school science was my teacher blew up a battery.
Deliberately or
accidentally?
That'd be good. I would enjoy science if shit was like that.
Well, so the thing was, he didn't mean to. So it was like it was called a liquid cell battery. So it's essentially how like a AAA, for example, works, but scaled up and what's the word? External, so you can see it.
Okay.
And he's going like, okay, so this is a battery, so what's it going to be produced? And the whole class goes, hydrogen. And he goes, okay, so if I put this lighter over it, what should it do? And we all go, oh, it's going to go pop, because that's what hydrogen does when it burns. He puts the lighter over this thing, and the whole thing just friggin' explodes.
Nice.
Like all the other teachers come running in going, what was that? Technicians come running in going, what? We didn't give you the hydrogen rocket. It was literally mad. It was great fun.
That sounds amazing.
It was. I mean, the teacher got nitric acid on his face, which isn't exactly great.
Ah, fuck it.
It's all for the cause.
Exactly.
To be fair,
no,
him blowing that battery up probably inspired a lot more people to do science than any other one.
And
I
look,
mean, you
he's
say
even
that
made
this
it
was
up
like
to
a
sit and
fifth-year
chat.
class.
Ah, right.
So
fair. Well, you know, it probably stopped them from. It's probably made them take it in 6th year. I'd be like, yeah, I want to see more shit blow up.
You're forgetting though, the main thing to come out of this is he's now sat in his house, listening to Sit and Chatting podcast and going, oh, you cunt, I'm on a Sit and Chatting podcast.
Wow, my life is fucking amazing.
That's it. Like, he is as happy as happiness can be.
And if you weren't such scathing...
I mean, he lives in Ballach, so I very much doubt that.
Yeah.
Right, well, like I said, he's as happy as he can be.
Yeah. And if only you didn't slag off every other teacher that we had, Jamie, and then they'd be happy. Now they're all probably want to hang themselves after the comments you made about still in high school.
I go as far to say, every teacher at our school was a bastard, other than Mr. Clark for maths. He was sound.
Nah,
other than that,
there was a few good ones. There was a few.
Name me one.
I am struggling now that you do mention it. Did you ever do geography in like S1, S2?
Name the teacher.
Miss Prince. She was pretty nice.
Can't mind her.
She had like a full haircut. She was like quite young.
Was she tidy?
Yeah.
Well, I never had her because I would remember. Yeah. So I can't pass comment.
Fair enough then. So if you're listening, Mr. Clark, you're the one good teacher.
Yeah. I would tell you to get back in touch because you were a sound cunt.
Oh, we should get him on the podcast. That'd be class.
Mate, I'm not be funny, right? But if you could track him down, that'd be fucking quality.
We should try it.
Well, as a teacher, he probably still works at the school.
No, he doesn't.
Nearly every teacher that we had in school has now left that high school. Have you heard as well, Jamie? James's mum's quitting, well, retiring now.
That's true. Why?
Because she hates the fucking new head teacher. I'm saying we get her on to chat shit about.
What's that? What's his name?
the Baldicon.
Aye,
I
that
forget
camp
his
guy.
Yeah,
Can't remember his name.
yeah. Aye, Neil, just to give you an idea of how shite this guy was. So he came in our final year, yeah. And
I wasn't there, just to be clear.
yeah, well, yeah, Jamie didn't get to experience this pish, but he basically came in and every time a student made a complaint about them, he then tried to claim that they were just being homophobic because he was gay, and then the kids would always get in trouble because apparently they were just being homophobic every time they made a complaint. It's just like
They
nah.
put vending machines and shit around the school, I heard though.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, I wasn't there when they done that, but you know, it's probably full of healthy shit anyway. I doubt it's filled with like Coke and that.
Oh, so we used to have a Coke machine in our school, right? And they said it so it wouldn't work until 3:30 when school ended. We
Why?
figured out that if you turned it, because they can't sell Coke during school hours, we figured out that if you turn it off and on, it would reset and you've got a minute where you can buy something.
Nice. That's the smart thinking that schools need.
Exactly. See if you make right, here's the way I see it. See if you make learning a challenge, right? That for something that you want, make it rewarding, right? So there's Neil found out, right? We turn it off and on, we can that's thinking, that's saying learn it, we do that, and boom, they get a reward for it. Teachers about fucking 10 plus 10. Who gives a fuck unless we're getting a fucking can of Coke after it? Do you know what I mean? Make it rewarding.
That's actually a good point, you know. Oh, here, you do well, you get a bar of chocolate.
Exactly. So you do class, you get a prize for it. Simple as that.
Or even better, just like whoever like does the test.
There's
like,
one issue with this though, lads. If you're doing it with these things, Jamie Oliver's going to start a fucking mad crusade.
I fucking hate that bastard.
Yeah. Does anyone actually care about him anymore? I feel like 10 years ago when we were all at school, he had a lot more respect than he does now.
I'm not going to lie. Honestly, I thought he was dead.
Why? What do you think he was?
I thought somebody surely would have killed him by now. Surely would have been an assassin.
That's
First
like
Coco
Trump, though,
Pops.
isn't it? Surely someone should have just gone with
Nah.
a sniper by now. But...
Trump's never ever ruined Coco Pops. Like Trump in my eyes, Trump's a sim cunt. I mean,
He's not around Coco Pops.
it does. He makes golf courses. He brings joy to the world. He brings entertainment. What does Oliver do? Absolutely fuck all. The man deserves.
He gets told to fuck off by school kids. That's what he does, and that's fucking hilarious.
Aye, that's good, but it's not good enough. It doesn't bring my Coco Pops back.
Jamie, a tough choice for you. You could only personally execute one of these people and get away with it. Piers Morgan or Jamie Oliver, who are you picking?
Collate the both of them. Like
No, you have to pick one. Who you picking? Tough choice here.
Right. So if I could go back and stop what Jamie Oliver's done and kill him before it, 100% choose him.
It's right, okay, but it's here now in the day. They're both lined up against.
So if they're both lined up right now, I would kill Piers.
Right, okay.
But if I could go back and stop
if you could Terminator style Oliver.
Aye, so let's say Jamie Oliver was bringing this whole sugar tax and fucking, Coco Pops and all that shit into play, I'd be like, no, see you
Bring
later.
back the old brew.
Aye, exactly. I was stuffed for cunt prior to him making all these terrible decisions.
Right, okay.
But now Piers has got to go. He's got to go.
He's got to go. Aye, that's a good question there, Neil. If you could execute one person today, who would you pick? No,
that's a tough choice. Because I don't know if I'd want to kill him, but I would love to just sucker punch Bojo.
No,
I would love
that's
to sucker
terrible.
punch Bojo.
Can't believe you even said something like that. No, you know what? I retract my whole statement. Give me a gun. I'm shooting Nicola Sturgeon straight between the eyes. 100%. That cow.
Mate, I miss Big Nick. Like, being stuck with Bojo, I miss Big Nick so much.
Big old sticky Nicky.
She deserves fucking to be shot between the eyes.
Oh, mate.
Apparently
not as bad as Bojo, trust me.
Apparently she's the most boring person ever, by the way. Struan said when she met her in China, she said she is the most boring cunt to listen to that has ever existed. So
I just imagine her fanny being as dry as fuck, by the way.
Why the fuck are you imagining Big Nick's fanny?
Well, why would you know? Do you know what I mean? But I'm just thinking to myself,
Why would you?
Why
Why
don't
would
you-
you?
Why
it's
don't you
just
tweet
dry.
her and ask her? Ask her how dry it is.
You know what? Right after this podcast, I will.
Okay, let me know if you get a
okay.
response.
I know I'm
Might
going to do
not
it right
next
now.
week. Yeah, just in case you get a response.
You
you're
get
the boss.
blocked.
No, I'm just going to. How will I word this? How
Hello,
dry
no,
is
no,
your fanny?
like, hello, Nicola. Dot,
Right,
dot, dot. How dry is your fanny?
It's actually unbelievable how she's at the top of my fucking.
That's
That's
Well,
actually mind blowing. Right,
so I was listening to you.
Right, so what am I saying to her?
Hello, Big Nick. Dot, dot, dot. How dry is your fanny? Question
Hello,
for the
Big Nick.
podcast in bracket marks.
I'm being phoned as I'm doing this. That's excellent. Hello, Big Nick. Dot, dot, dot. How dry is your fanny?
Brackets question for the podcast. Please answer soon.
Well, I just put asking for a mate.
Nah, asking for the podcast. You know, if she knows it's a serious matter like that, then she might get back to you.
Hello, Big Nick. Dot, dot, dot. How dry is your fanny? Asking for the podcast. Right.
Can't wait to see you banned off Twitter now for like 5 days.
Let me get
after.
shut down in 3, 2,
I'll
1.
put a wee kiss at the end. It makes it seem a bit better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's that sent. Tweet is sent. Right, that's
Cool.
fine.
Let us know if you get a response.
All I'm saying is it's going to be as dry as a Pringle. Like, it can't be like that shit ain't moist at all. Anyway, carry on. Back to whatever we're talking about.
I've forgotten where we're going with this.
Nah, seriously, you can't possibly want to kill Bojo. That's your first person that makes you want to kill somebody. That's who you
Aye.
think.
Well,
'Cause
to be
he's
fair,
such
you
a
did say
fucking
you
cunt.
did say you'd sucker punch him, didn't you? You didn't say you'd kill him.
I'd sucker punch him for sure. I don't know if I'd kill him because I'll give him this. He's fucking hilarious.
I
Like,
reckon though
it's
I reckon though he'd be like jelly. If you punched him, he'd just like wobble all over the place and just like reform.
So, wait, Liam, question goes to you then. Who would you kill if you had one shot?
Oh, one bullet to save it all. Fuck, who would I? I'm trying to think who I actually despise now. Because it probably would have been back in the day, been like, you know, Katie Hopkins. But
he'd
she's
take the
fallen
hit
off
and
a
just
cliff.
shoot 6 inches off his willy to make the rest of us feel better about ourselves.
Yeah, aye, great.
There's absolutely no way you would ever dismantle Katie Hopkins, man. She is literally a national treasure.
You're such a wind up cunt, yes.
What you thought?
Fuck
Mate,
off.
think about the amount of good times she's brought us. Amount of controversy she's brought
Nah,
us.
mate, I'd fuck it. There's nothing more I'd love than just.
Why? Her way of thinking is so fucking out there. It's amazing.
Well,
How she
you
thinks
just,
accepted.
well, you
What?
think she's good to keep around as like an example of didn't be like this, kids, when you grow
Aye.
up.
And I think so. I take one example right now. I'll happily hold my hands up and go, I'm a bit of a Little Mix fan, right? I enjoy the music, right? But I enjoy looking at the lassies a bit better. You know, they're all beautiful, right?
Right.
But Jessie, you know, what people regarded as a heavier set one wasn't the case, but regardless. Katie Hopkins made a tweet years ago when they were on the X Factor, pretty much calling her like a fat one. She
Right.
said the fat one in the group, blah, blah, blah. Like, she without that comment, right? People wouldn't know that she's a cow and know it and like know to act like that. Do you know what I mean? She's in her own world.
So right, so she's your example of just know what to become.
Aye. So like Jessie came out and says that this Katie Hopkins tweeted this about her and it done nothing but made her happy. She was feeling so low. That tweet came out and she realised that somebody in the public eye like that can say something like that. It gave her a layer of thicker skin. I just think it's fucking brilliant. You need Katie Hopkins in this world. God bless her.
For all the wrong reasons.
Aye. She's a fucking
No,
brilliant.
I've actually thought one Jacob Rees-Mogg, that cunt deserves a bullet. That he is just fucking.
I'm not going to argue with that one.
He's just one of the worst ever.
I'll let you have that one. I
Right,
still
now-
can't believe we've come out with names like this when he said Bojo. It's absolutely a disgrace.
Nah, so like getting back to the
I'm sorry,
topic,
that's fucking Bojo.
getting back to the topic at hand. Then, so you're in Aberdeen Uni, you know, life's life's going well, I don't know. I presume well. It was well whenever I seen you. But yeah, I mean, how. I suppose we've brought up a few times before. You mentioned that you do have a kid. I won't say their name in case you don't want that out there. But how did that come about then? How did you find out that your missus was pregnant?
She sent me a message and she was like, something's wrong. And I was like, oh, baby, what's wrong? And she's like, it's funny you use those words.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Do you mind, like, so you were still in uni at this point, weren't you, when you got...
Aye.
What was that feeling like?
What was the first feeling?
Oh, it was the first feeling, I need a fucking drink.
It's a fair assessment.
Just out of curiosity, Neil, how many other occasions would you have had a bad bit of news and just like, yes, I need a drink is the first point to call?
Every weekend, surely.
Every weekend.
I mean, daily at this point. It was daily at that point to drink.
Nah, but like, so...
Pretty much, yeah. That's my go-to reaction when I hear something bad. Oh, I need a fucking drink.
And your missus was she at the same uni as you?
No. So my missus lived in Cambridge.
So she was back at this point when you got the message.
Well, my missus and I never lived together until the kid was born.
Yeah. So like, yeah, but like, see when you first got the text saying, "By the way,
she was in Cambridge."
Right. Like, because like.
Was it premeditated? I know that seems a bit mental, but like, was
premeditated? I don't think that's the correct.
No, that's what I said. It sounded a bit mental. Was it meant to happen, or was it a nice surprise?
No, we'd been together for 3 months.
Nice surprise. I'll leave it at that.
It was a surprise. Good surprise.
Yeah.
Of course,
But it took some time to process.
Saying that, though. Do you know what I always get the fear of saying that when somebody goes, was it meant to happen? Like, of course, you know what I mean, you're happy about it, but it wasn't meant to happen, do you know what I mean? But no, it's a nice surprise.
Yeah, it's like the world works in strange ways sometimes, you know.
Aye.
But like,
it does indeed.
See for then, like you, because obviously there'll be, you know, millions of like lads and lads, because you were 19 at the time, weren't you, when you found out? Right. So you, so like when you found out in that, because obviously there's going to be many people in your situation now, or in a few years' time, sort of thing, when they're a bit older, they might end up
younger than you.
Situation to you. What would be like? What is like? How did you break the news then to people that you knew? Was it in similar ways to everyone? Was it like a phone call, or was it just like a text message, or?
Depends. So I didn't tell my mom for 3 months.
Nice. Was that out of fear, or?
Yes.
I can't think why, Neil. I don't know why.
So yeah, I told my mom. Didn't tell my dad. Like obviously my dad knows I have a kid. It's not like
he knows until when.
He knows now. You know, hopefully he knows. That would be a shock.
No, my mom told my dad.
Wow.
Yeah. So I told him first when I found out about the next one.
Aye, that's what it said.
No, so I rang my mom. Didn't tell my dad. Told my sister face to face. I'm surprised she didn't stab me.
Well, it's still always one of my favourite things when like you first told me, because like you invited me like for a night out in Aberdeen, so obviously I came up and that for it. And this was only like, I don't know, maybe about 6 months or so before the Wayne was due to be born. But I mind
a bit longer.
Was it a bit longer? Because I mind like, because
I mean, bit closer to the kid being born.
Because I could mind that something was up, because well, like Anna came out as well, which is nice to see her as well, like your sister, and I could tell that like, you know, something was a bit off. And eventually we're just sitting down in like a pub, and she's like, "Are you going to tell him?" And I was like, tell me what? And then you're just like, yeah, by the way. And then you said it, and then I remember just both of you looking at me. Like, weirdly enough, I've never had people look at me and like wait for my reaction more than like that moment there. At which point I think I gave the correct reaction, was to be like, fucking yes, get in there. Let's get the drinks round, let's take some shots, let's enjoy this.
Were you surprised, Liam?
Was I surprised?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised. Because like, I mean, I hadn't even met his missus at this point. But like, so I went up to the bar.
Have you met my missus yet?
Yeah, I had for your mum's 50th.
Aye. Forgot about that.
But so like, I went up to like the bar to like go and buy some drinks and that afterwards, and I just made Anna come up to me. He's just like, "What are you doing?" I was just like, "What?" Like, "You're not meant to be celebrating with them. This is a bad thing that's happened." I'm like, this is my personal advice to anyone out there. See if you just found out that your mate's going to be like a dad or a mum or whatever. Don't fucking put them down about it. Don't make them feel bad in the moment. Because, I mean, like, what's that going to accomplish, Just be happy for them. They've done a good thing. They're going to go off and, be great parents. I'm sure if your mate's them, I'm sure you trust that, as I trusted with you. It's just like, yeah, just, fucking good on you. If you were like 10 years older, everyone, and you're like married to your missus at this point, and you had like a stable job, everyone would be like, oh, this is fucking brilliant. But because you're 19, everyone has that stigma of just like, oh, like, fuck you, basically, this isn't right, sort of thing.
Mad Liam and his positive mentality.
No, it's right, because I'm fed up, because I've heard it so many times from like people like even like I'm sure they won't mind me saying, right, but like, see, when I was in Jersey last time, Neil, yeah, it's like, and we were speaking to you, like my folks are sort of saying, oh, it's like your way to go and chat to one of your friends. So I was like, yeah, I've just found out that my friend's gonna have a second kid. I'm like, oh wow, what age is your friend? It's like, oh, he's like 23 now. They're just looking at me as if to say, really? I'm just like, yeah, like there's judgment from it, but having seen the fact that you can cope with it well, there's nothing to be worried about. It wouldn't matter.
On the flip side of that, though, it also means that by the time I'm 40, I will have no responsibilities.
It's a very fair point. Well, you hope. You never know, Neil. You might find out at that point that your kids are both also.
It's kids. Like, they're your responsibility for life, and you got to take care of them. But once they're 18, it's sort of oh, you're drunk. I don't have to pick you up. Wow. This is a great situation.
You're waiting for that day, aren't you, so you can laugh at your children when they're hungover. Just say, I was you once.
Aye, exactly.
But I will say though, right, so like, see, when you first told me at the time, yeah, I was still working at Dobies, and one of the guys I used to work with, I think he was 27 at the time, and he had 6 kids by this point. And I have never seen someone more mentally drained or like fucked up from having kids before. Like, he's like, all his hair's falling out, he's sad, he's miserable, like. And he's always said, like, in a joking way, because he obviously loves his kids, but he's always just like, oh God, having kids at such a young age was such a mistake. And I always looked at him and then thought, fuck, I really hope Neil doesn't end up like him. I really fucking hope he doesn't. And thankfully, though, I feel like
I'll say this: I've not lost my hair yet.
Yeah, no, you're doing well.
Shit, where was that hidden? Fucking hell! What the fuck?
No, lost it yet.
Yeah, that's the important thing. You've got a good head of hair
for now.
Yeah,
there was a few bits of grey in there. I seen there.
I know the feeling. Why do you think I've got my hat on?
It's the terrifying thing though, is my mum always says I got hair like my uncle, and he went fully bald by 25.
Only a year to go, mate.
Yeah.
But like, what I was going to say is, like, I've never seen someone at your age handle what you done as well as you did. Because like, I've seen folk that I've not been mates with, and they've just fucking crumbled under the pressure, but you've handled it really well. do you have like any advice to people if they were good, like, you know, say they're about to have their first kid or whatever, like what would you advise, like Neil, if you'd went back 4 years ago or whatever, if you're in the position now?
You don't need to be responsible, you just need the illusion of responsibility.
That works for me. Where'd I sign up?
No, I'd say that probably. Yeah.
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 That's fair play if that's your advice. But no, fair play to you. And obviously you've mentioned as well you've got your second kid coming as well soonish.
Aye, due on my birthday, funnily enough.
Oh, oh dear. No more parties for you.
Oh, this is gonna be the first birthday I can't have a sesh on.
And probably never again.
I mean, you say that I've had a sesh on my birthday the past few years.
No, I mean like because of COVID more than anything else. But you know, as well, if you have a kid, like if you have a child born on the same day as you, I imagine at that point, you know, it's the Wayne that gets the attention, not you.
Aye.
It's you that's thrown off to the side. It doesn't matter.
Well, it was my mom's 50th, and she thinged me. But obviously it's her 50th, big birthday. She's got everyone there, and we'd not long had Rosalie at this point. I think she was like a month old, and everyone was just like, "Oh, look at Rosalie! Oh, look at Rosalie! Oh, happy birthday, Jane! Oh, look at Rosalie! Oh, look at Rosalie!"
Yeah, like it's not like as well. It wasn't even like it was a small party as well. It was like a big town hall's like been like taken over and that, and everyone's only focused on the baby. Raging.
She was asleep for the whole thing.
Raging, disgraceful. So how's things now then? Moving on a wee bit, how's life treated you? Because obviously you had to move down to be with the family.
Aye. At the minute, it's, you know, not too exciting. I'm furloughed, so, you know.
Are you back furloughed now?
Aye, we're full blown lockdown.
Okay. The joys.
Yeah, so yeah, it is what it is, you know, nothing too great. On the plus side, I get to spend a lot of time with Rosalie, which is nice. Which is child, as obviously I don't think we've named her yet, but Rosalie is child. Which is nice. However, you get some fucking hilarious moments out of it.
Like
so November we had a full blown lockdown as well.
Yeah.
And I made chocolate cake with Rosalie one day. By the time we finished it, it's about 4 o'clock. It's getting quite close to dinner now, and she just looks at me and goes, "Daddy, can we have cake for dinner?"
And, yeah, I mean, you know, if you eat the whole cake, you can't be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it was Rosalie, it wasn't me."
Well, this is the thing, though. This is the number one thing about having kids that no one warned me about, is that when they ask questions like that, you've got to act like it's not a great idea.
It's quite hard when you want to do it as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're driving past Mackey's, "Daddy, can we get McDonald's?" And you got to be like, "Oh, I don't know."
Bastard, now that you've asked, I fine.
Oh, only because you've asked.
Aye. Well,
only because you asked so nicely.
Even if she doesn't say anything, just because you're driving past it. Do you know what? You've been really good today. Because of that, we're going to go to McDonald's.
Yeah, no, it's always interesting.
So, what is being stuck inside a small house with 2 other people like then during lockdown, especially one's a hyperactive child?
The child itself is not too bad. You pretend to be a dinosaur for a couple hours, and it just runs out of energy.
So you do make parenting sound really easy.
I was just about to say, this parenting sounds easy.
Guaranteed, Jamie. It will be
it's literally just. It is. It's, "Oh, you want to play the dinosaur game? Okay, we can play the dinosaur game. Oh, you want to bake some pizza dough? We can bake some pizza dough. Oh, you want to chase mommy around? Oh, we can't chase mommy around right now, but in a couple months we can."
One just don't have to carry another one.
Aye. But no, it's interesting. Obviously, Rosalie, she's not that old. She goes to bed quite early still, so you still get the evenings to do stuff.
That's good.
Grace is the sleepiest being in the world, so it's kind of good that I'm not having to go into work for the minute.
Yeah.
So
is it good in that sense as well that you get maybe a bit more spare time than you would normally, i.e. to do things like this?
This is going to sound really bad as well. I'm really hoping this lockdown keeps happening until at least May.
What? That's
Because then
one.
I get paternity leave at a lot more pay than you might get paternity leave.
So you're hoping it lasts till May, and then in May we all get out, and then we go back in just to make sure that you get a bit more pay. Can't fault it,
Well, it's like obviously I don't wish for anyone for them to be out of work or anything like that. And I know a lockdown, it's really hard on mental health, and it's really hard on a lot of parents and single people and people that live alone and stuff like that. And it's not something that I want people to have to be, dealing with. But there are certain situations where the lockdown really helps.
Yeah, no.
And I'm a big proprietor of lockdowns. Like I remember I was listening to another episode and you, Jamie, were saying about to do with a lockdown or at work or something and people wearing gloves or something like that. But if you look at New Zealand, they have no COVID cases because they did a hard lockdown for 3 months.
Yeah. No, it can work, if it's done right.
I don't know, but I would.
Yeah, we just don't do it right.
I'd put a counter argument across for Sweden. No, Sweden done a hard lockdown for 3 months, and then it all went to shit because they opened up their borders for travel.
Yeah,
and because they were they were in such a good place, and then literally one person came into the country with it, and then they had to go into another lockdown again. So it's hard to do a hard 3-month lockdown and think, right, we're absolutely fine. There's nothing possible that can go wrong here. Then fine, but don't open up your borders.
Yeah, that's the bit that throws me is why would you let people come in? Like obviously I'm all for the free movement of people, not during a pandemic.
No.
Yeah.
In a pandemic, my personal opinion is get in your house and fucking stay there.
I know. Yeah. Obviously, there are certain folk that have to travel. Case in point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even you should have stayed where you were.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad to see you missed me.
Oh, I mean, I've still not seen you since you came back, other than that one time.
Yeah, but the hope was I would have been able to see you more. But
let's put it this way: if I didn't pick you up for the airport, I would never have known you were back in Scotland.
So the saltire, I'm sorry, the line rampant may have given you a hint.
Maybe.
Nah, it's strange. Part of me feels like we have just gone back in time by another year, basically. I mean, that's the thing now. This will probably keep happening for another year anyway. I've unfortunately come to the realization that this will be our life again for another year.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Makes me more annoyed as well because Duncan, my flatmate, the week that it happened, said to me, "I'm telling you, this will happen for 2 years." I was like, "Don't be fucking stupid. There's no way this will last for 2 years."
It's the worst part is though, is cause it's people like us that are going to get that vaccine last as well.
Yeah, my granddad actually got his today. Got his COVID jab today, so hopefully that's it's a positive start. I'm a wee bit annoyed though because my gran can't get one, even though she's 78. It's just like, oh come on, she's so close. Just give her the fucking jab.
She's next up. Do you
need to be a certain age or that?
Yeah, 80 to get it.
Fucking hell, there can't be many 80-year-olds left, surely.
I think you'd be surprised. People live long. So, also as well, I suppose another topic I wanted to bring up was you're quite the talented drawer these days.
Oh God, not really.
I believe you are. So, how did you get into drawing at first? I suppose were you doing it at a younger age, or is only recently you've got into it?
No, so as you saw earlier, I'm quite heavily tattooed. I'd say quite.
Slightly.
I am very heavily tattooed.
Do you know how many you have?
And the reason that came about, 36.
Nice.
Yeah. So the reason that came about was, so I've got one on my arm here, this one,
Right.
which is a sinking ship in a compass at sea, etc., etc. And there was a guy in Aberdeen who drew it, and I knew he worked in one of the studios, and I really wanted to get it tattooed.
Okay.
So I went into the studio one day and said to him, "Look, dude, I know you drew this. I was wondering if it was okay with you if I could get it tattooed. I'll get whoever you want to do it. I'll obviously give you some money for the use of your design as well and everything like that. And I would love to get it done." And he just went, "Oh, well, thank you very much, dude. But if you're willing to wait a few months, I'm actually about to start an apprenticeship." And I was like, "Oh, yes, sweet, dude, absolutely." So I left the studio that day thinking, cool, I'll wait a couple months. And I got a message from him on Instagram later on. And he's like, "Do you want a free tattoo?" And I'm like, "Yes, I want a free tattoo." And yeah, that's how I ended up getting so many, because I had a few already at this point. But this dude, he did this one for me, and it was his first ever tattoo. And I really like his work, and I just kept going back to him, and he's now my tattoo artist. I don't get tattooed by anyone else anymore. So
only him. When was the last
only
time
him,
you got
which
one?
it was over a year ago now. It's the longest I've not had a tattoo for since I became of legal age to get them.
What age do you have to be to get tattoos? Is it 16?
18.
Is it 18?
Yep.
Yeah, you were quite young.
There is a legal loophole where you can get them at 16, but no tattoo artist allows it.
Just because they don't want the hassle of it.
Yeah, pretty much. You can do it when you're 16 if you have written
Permission.
Confirmed written permission from the parent or guardian.
Right.
However, it's so easy to fake confirmed written permission that tattoo artists just don't fucking do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't risk that.
So they just don't deal with it pretty much.
No. That must be a struggling business right now as well, tattoo artists.
It is, and tattoo. I mean, part of the issues with it is tattoo artists have a bit of a reputation and they fuck themselves with it a little bit. Not all tattoo artists, I must say. This is a few, but it's also, it's such a tough thing because a lot of tattoo artists are self-employed, and a lot of them, haven't really, made over certain amounts, so they won't get any help. Or if they have, then they might not declare their taxes correctly, which is the ones that kind of fuck themselves a bit. But it's a struggling time, and I will give one dude a shout out, and that's check out Scott Bowden Tattoos. He does prints and stuff. He's awesome. He's my tattoo artist. Just help him out.
Well, there we go. To be fair, Neil, I think you're the first ever person to shout someone that isn't themselves on here, so fair play.
He's a really nice dude with, I think he does awesome tattoos, and he does some shirts and stuff as well. So it's not much, but if you can help someone out in this time, you gotta. So
no, that's fair play to you. So is it him then that inspired you to do drawing in the first place then?
Yes. So like I said, I've been tattooed by him a lot. I've spent God knows how many hours just sitting with him drawing on me. And I was talking to him one day, and I was like, "Oh, so how did you end up doing this?" And he was like, "Oh, so 2 years ago I couldn't draw," and I was like, "Bull fucking shit." And he was like, "No, serious." And I don't know how, but he managed to convince me that he couldn't draw. He could. He definitely could. But so I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna learn to do this shit then." So
because I'll shout out your Instagram then. Rock_bottom182. Because, I mean, you've got 339 posts here, mate, and they're really well drawn. I don't care what you say. I like the drawings.
They're just not.
No, but that's the
They're
thing.
just
I
not.
genuinely really like the drawings.
There's a couple that are okay. There's a lot that I need to delete.
Nah, mate, you understand yourself. You've got I like a lot of them. Genuinely, I'm not even just saying that just to try and blow smoke up your ass. I genuinely like them. So, like,
there's a lot that needs to be made better and stuff, but
it's like,
yeah,
it's like one of those hints of, like, you know, more practice makes perfect, you know, sort of thing. But
yeah, I'm a damn sight better than I used to be. I'll say that for sure.
Mate, you're great. Undersell yourself. I was wondering. I was wondering though. Do you ever plan to maybe do tattooing yourself?
I would love to. The only issue is it's very much a who you know business.
Right.
So trying to get your foot in the door is difficult. And for someone like me, especially, I've got a girlfriend, a kid, and another kid on the way, all of whom I need to support. Majority of tattoo apprenticeships aren't paid.
Ah, okay.
Which I can't do that.
You can't do it, yeah. No,
so, you know, there's that. And obviously at the minute, it's not the best industry to work in.
True.
But it is something I would love to do. But it takes a lot of work, and it's, you know, it comes down to the end of it of, I think I'll need to have enough money in the bank to, you know, get myself through maybe a year or two of not getting paid. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, no, man. Hopefully you make something of it, because, like I say, you are very good at drawing, and I want to see more. I want to see where this goes. But it's not just like drawings as such, because you've also been doing like designs for skateboards and that as well.
Yeah, I've done a few. There's one of them.
Nice.
But yeah, I've done a couple skateboards. 2 of them are for mates. I've done some others that aren't on the Instagram. I got paid to do it. That's because the guy didn't want them on the Instagram, so I'm fine with that.
How come he didn't want it on the Instagram? Surely
he was buying it for someone, and he thought the person followed me or something.
Ah, right. So just in case, sort of.
Yeah. But no. So there's a couple others, but they need some work. If anyone wants one, I do them at cost. So it's just you buy the board and pay shipping. But hey.
And how would they get in contact with you? Would through Instagram be the best way, or?
Sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Well, listen, you know, you've heard it here first. But yeah, it's interesting, man. I do enjoy it. We got nothing else to add on. I want to try and do the news segment, if you're ready for that. Normally just go through a few stories. Try and make them funny, but, you know, in the last year, it's a bit difficult to find a funny story on the news. So it's more typically just what's been happening, get your opinion on it, that sort of thing. Big old person that's been on this before, though, big Marcus Rashford. Obviously, if you've both seen this free school meals that went out as such to the kids for the summer holidays. Now, Neil, as someone that does have a kid, has a kid and is about to have 2, seeing like those meals, did that anger you in any way? Like how
Absolutely. What made me angrier though was the health secretary was asked on some show, I can't remember which one it was, does he regret voting against giving the free school meals?
Piers Morgan.
And he just refused to answer the fucking question. Yeah, Piers Morgan was grilling him. And I know you're not a big Piers Morgan fan, Jamie, but if you're not going to answer that fucking question, I honestly think you deserve to be fucking stabbed.
I watched the full thing because the guy that was on it, what's his name again?
I think it was Matt Hancock.
That's it, Matt Hancock. Cunt, ever man. But what I will say is, Piers Morgan was right in the way he was grilling him, but it was because obviously he voted against it and he couldn't answer the question and he rumbled him, which is rightly so. I like how Rashford came back out and said that this is unacceptable. It was sourced away to a private company on the basis that there was no ties to the government with it.
Yeah.
And they still managed to find a Tory loophole to get it back to a Tory company. So it's a massive disgrace. I mean, Rashford's obviously he's dealing with it again, as for somebody who plays professional football.
It's literally carrying it on its shoulders. Without him, it would be all to shit.
The fact he's not Sir Marcus
well.
Rashford yet is quite amazing to me.
What's that?
The fact he's not Sir Marcus Rashford.
No, it's next year. He's already been voted. He's already been invited to. It's next year that's going to happen.
Oh, is it?
Oh, is he getting it then? Yes. That's good.
He can't get it. So basically, because he got his
MBE.
What was he got? MBE, can't get knighthood in the same year.
Okay.
Or within a year, sorry. So I will get it. He's been invited to.
He must be one of the youngest people ever to get it.
I think he is the youngest, to be honest. I think he's what is he? His age is well, isn't he? He's like 22 or something.
Yeah, he's younger than us. He's 22.
That's just depressing.
What's scary as well though is how amazing he is. And I hate Man U as much as the next guy. Beat Liam as well. But he's one of the most. You've got to respect him. He's one of the most humble individuals. If you've seen any of his interviews and stuff, he's just.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing. I wish he was a Liverpool player. Not even for his talent, just for the. Just
for being a good guy. If anything, it's kind of good in a way.
He's just one of those guys you want to see succeed.
Not in the football pitch, in life.
In life, just not in Man U.
Just not with Man United. I'm happy if he succeeds anywhere else.
As long as he beats Liverpool.
Come this Sunday, I'm terrified. But it's one of those things of it's so fucking the meals as well. The pictures they posted up of just I mind as well. One family was given literally half a pepper, cut down the middle and cling filmed.
I think Dylan told me that they worked out that everything on Asda equated to £6.32 or something.
Yeah,
and it's meant to be a £30 meal, and it's so that £24 is pure profit for that Tory company.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. Let's say, say delivery fees as well. Call that, say, £4, £5. Could still get another 25 quid's worth of food in that.
I mean, it is actually a disgrace. But see, the thing with Piers Morgan is I hate his debating methods, because he always goes on about how he's debating with people, and he just doesn't let them talk. But that guy deserved it. He totally deserved it. And. See, I watched one of the other episodes not long ago where he was grilling this guy who was on talking about a million different ways to describe yourself, be it trans or pansexual, transsexual, whatever you want to call yourself. And he was like, "Why am I not allowed to identify as I think it was a penguin or some shit?" He was saying, and he was just totally taking the piss out of it, but it was. His points were so valid, but it was the way he was grilling the guy and not letting him talk. I was just like, you just need to let the guy talk.
You could win this debate fairly, but you're just being a cunt to him.
Being a cunt about it. Because he speaks sense.
I'm not the biggest Piers Morgan fan, but the way he did that to Matt Hancock was just fucking excellent. Matt Hancock.
Yeah,
he deserved that.
That's one of his better interviews.
He deserved it. It didn't make me respect him anymore, but he did deserve it.
But it is one of those things of just do you think it'll ever get sorted now? Because this is nearly a year this has been going on now. Because you know what's gonna happen next? They're gonna go back and they'll find a new company, and then all that food will be sent, and then by that time it'll be the fucking schools will be back, and they won't have to do it and all that.
Well, see, I read. So Rashford, I've watched a lot of Rashford interviews and random stuff because obviously I like him. I just think that the take he's or the way he's took this whole project on top of his own on his own head, be it is just mental, especially the age he's at. So I think I watched one of his interviews and he says that he was looking at options to bring a team of people that he trusts to do it himself. So I don't know what that entails, because I would imagine he like where he grew up in Manchester, there's probably thousands, if not, millions of people in that area willing to do anything for him. Do you know what I mean? So if he brings his own team together, has the funds, makes a business, deal with it, and that way it's not up to Tories to dictate. It's very difficult, though.
That would be good. I think that would work for the future, but I think unfortunately, because obviously the kids need something now, I don't think it's the sort of thing he could do now, unfortunately. But for the future,
the issue you'd have with that though is, especially with the Tories in power, the Tories would go, "Oh, we don't need to fucking do this. Look, he's already doing that. We don't need to deal with it."
That's the way they are doing it now, anyway. So it makes no odds. That's the thing.
Yeah, but at the minute it is still the government paying for it. Whereas if
did you see Boris? Well, it's mental you say that though. But did you see Boris in Parliament when he was asked about it the other day?
No,
where he was complimenting Marcus Rashford on checking the government. Yeah.
Yeah. At the same time as telling him he didn't know about the whole situation. So prior to that, it was like, "Oh, I'm not really aware on that subject. I will get back to you, honourable gentleman. Am I right?" And then 2 minutes later, he was like, "Oh, Marcus Rashford for standing up to the government or whatever, blah blah blah." I was like, "Well, 2 seconds ago you said you didn't remember that, and now you're saying you do." So it's just it's fucking mental how Marcus Rashford's name is getting flung about in the House of Commons. You know what I mean? It's just mind blowing.
More so than any other footballer probably has been.
It's just fucking scary, but I keep all sorted. I believe in him.
I mean, you need to, because no one else is good.
I hope he does, but I also don't think it should be left to professional footballers to feed our fucking kids.
No.
The other thing as well that was pissing me off was like I try my best nowadays not to read comments underneath things because it just pisses me off when you see
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Because you always, also 99% of it's positive, and it's yes, go on, big man. Thanks for saving the kids. But you'll just get one fucking dickhead just underneath, just going, "Oh well, the woman that took the photo of this probably has an iPhone 11, and if she can afford a brand new iPhone, then she can afford to feed her kids on their own." Just fuck off, fucking detective of smartphones over here. Fucking leave it out. Just I would be selling my car and my kidneys to feed my kids before I let the government feed them. Just fuck off.
That's me fucking 40-year-old virgin on his laptop, never shagged a woman in his life going, I'd feed my kids with my kidney. No bother. The kids you're never going to get. It's the thing, it's the same way. I think the whole misconception of, footballers get paid too much. Rashford's kind of put that to bed now because clearly his money is going to a good cause, his time's going to good causes and stuff. And
I mean, there'll be some that don't do it, and that's fair enough. It's their money, it's their choice what they want.
I think I'd go as far as say maybe 80% of footballers would pay somewhat to charity or do something giving back.
Do you mean top professionals?
No, not players that play for Aberdeen. Do you know what I mean? But
they can't afford to pay.
Most pros do tend to give a lot of it away admittedly to dodge tax, but they still do give a lot of it away at least.
Yeah. It does help. Well, moving on to be honest, not a cheerleader story. I've tried to find something different. Jamie, actually, Neil, what's your opinion on TikTok?
Oh, I fucking hate the thing.
Yes. Yes. Anyway, Jamie, since you're big onto TikTok, have you seen the level crossings trend?
No.
So the challenge is, right, apparently, that you need to get your car, like a level crossings with your car and that. The challenge is you need to park your car on the level crossing, get a tripod, set it up, and get good pictures of yourself before the train comes and hits your car. Apparently, there's been reported 5 near misses in the UK already because of people trying to do this on the tracks. Would you be that desperate for the clout, Jamie? Would you go out and do that?
No. I mean, I'm,
You'll laugh his dick out, but he's no parking on some railway roads.
Exactly. My cock will be swinging a bit if need be, but no.
You're no risking the course on the tracks.
No. I'm not gonna lie to you. I find it absolutely mind blowing that this has been associated with me. I use TikTok for one of two purposes. You know what I mean, and that is females dancing and humour, not
So
trends.
Bank and laughs.
Thank you.
Yeah, but porn exists, Jamie, and you can find a comedy sketch anywhere. You don't have to fucking go on TikTok.
Look, we'll not talk about my private time, but TikTok is.
What are you saying that TikTok can offer you something that Pornhub can't?
You want to know a fun fact?
The renegade.
Not been a Pornhub in a year and 6 months.
Underagers.
I'm not even going to listen to
that. I mean, I don't know. Put this, I don't get many folk that are, in their mid-20s that use TikToks. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's quite a lot that do the renegade.
I think you're embarrassing, you know that.
I've never had the app. I will never download the app. Well, I might do. Who knows? But for now, I refuse.
Aye, but you have watched TikTok.
Just scares me, man. It's owned by the Chinese government, and their data protection laws are sketchy at best.
Jamie doesn't care, just so they don't take away his wank bag.
Listen,
Jamie will give them the credit card details that they need, just so it's not that.
Listen, TikTok is where it's at. That's all I'm saying. TikTok is where it's at.
Yeah.
You know what that shows? He's a too old.
Do you know what? I'll take it.
I mean, I feel about 50, so
Aye. I'm the youth of the group. It's understandable.
It's not often you get to claim that, but I'll give it to you this time. It's one of those.
Well, the funniest TikTok stat I know. So there's a wide receiver in the NFL, right, called Chase Claypool. Mm-hmm. He had 50 catches this year, right? He made 54 TikToks this season.
This is a man who knows what he's doing.
That's a man who's accommodating his time well.
Aye, he is. He's using his off season to good use. That's what that is.
Right. I know it's not to do with the article, but have you heard about about what Snapchat are doing now? No. Snapchat, they've got their own new version of TikTok now, right? It's called Spotlight. Have you heard of it? Because I'm not used to it. I don't know if you've used it.
I've not used Snapchat since I was 14, so
like I said, age.
But see on this new Spotlight thing, yeah. Basically, they're giving away $1 million a day at the moment. They've got a scheme going, right? So say if you upload a video, if you upload a video, right, of you doing anything, to this Spotlight, right, and see if you make it into the top 10 most viewed videos of that day, right, you get a cut of $1 million.
Right. Well, all I'm going to say is I've just seen
OnlyFans creators must be loving this shit with their private Snapchats.
Well, all I'm saying is I've just seen the first Spotlight, okay?
Right.
And it is wonderful. Right, I'm going to show you this when it restarts. I'm going to try and show you this. This is magical, by the way.
Jamie's actually got
this is worthy of $1 million. Yes. How satisfying is that? Yep. Oh. Yes, break a pencil with a pair of pliers. But that is dead satisfying.
That does look cool. That's worth $1 million. But the reason why I know this is, do you know who David Dobrik is?
Aye.
Nope.
He used to be a Vine star, Neil. That's kind of more around your era. And he's now a YouTuber, and he heard about this $1 million thing. So he just uploaded an old vlog of his onto Spotlight, and it made it to the best video of that day. So he got $100,000.
Jesus Christ!
Just that's how easy life is sometimes. That's all you need to do. You just need to have a few connections, a few followers, and bang, $100,000 into the account.
I know.
Jesus Christ!
That's the thing, actually, Neil. If you're getting paid $100,000 a day, would you go on TikTok? Would you do dances for $100,000 a day?
No.
No. Shut up. Stop talking shit.
I would. I'll be honest. I'd be the first thing I'd do is be over there.
100k a day, Neil, you're chatting
See,
shit.
I wouldn't, because all you've got to do is put like 5 tennies in me and I'll do it anyway.
Alright, so what you're saying is you would do it.
Yeah, you would
So-
do it, you just need the persuasion.
Yes,
All right then.
pretty
Well,
much.
100k should be a persuasion enough.
Yeah, I mean it would be for me.
It's like the time you guys were saying of if you got what was it, £1 million for every litre of someone's spunk that you swallowed.
That does it because
It was. I can't even remember
how
who
many
it was.
layers of spunk are you drinking, Jamie? That's the question.
whose spunk is it?
It's a random
There was a streamer
person's.
from London. I can't remember who it was.
You can no. Well, we'll say it's a random person, right? It's been cleared that it's got no like AIDS or any like STDs
Nah,
in it.
I want to know whose spunk I'm drinking.
Well, okay, they'll give you a name, but it'll be some random person that you've never seen or
Oh,
met.
can it be somebody famous?
Johnny Sins.
Is that who you want to drink?
Ah,
Just one day to go up to God, here, I drank 10
put
litres
it
of your
this way, if I'm
spunk.
doing it, I want to do it right. Right?
Okay.
So the way I see it is, I get, how much did you say?
£1 million per litre.
My per litre, right?
That's
So you-
a litre's so much. It's
Aye,
such
but-
thick, it can be thick consistency as well.
But you're no timed on nothing.
You're no time.
You're not timed. So I
Is
could
there a
drink it
time
twice
limit, Neil? Do you have to like finish it within a day or something?
Yeah, you got a day.
a day. That easy work.
Can you
Right, so
water
I'm-
it down to make it more drinkable?
Nope.
No.
Easy. I'd do 2 litres a day. No bother at all.
2 litres a day.
Facts.
I'm not
And-
sure you can drink 2. I think we have to put this to the test.
I don't
Right.
think you can make 2 litres of spunk in a day.
Tell you
Yeah,
what,
well, it's a hypothetical situation where you just go like buying and it appears like in a bucket in front of you.
right, get me
That's
Justin
so-
Bieber spunk and I'll do 2 litres a day. No
Why
bother.
his spunk? Why do you want his spunk?
What do you mean?
What
I'd
do-
love a taste. I'd love a taste of that. 100%. You better believe it. If I'm doing it, I'm doing it right, and I'm getting somebody. I like.
Jamie's thinking of the business side, selling his
Is that-
Justin Bieber spunk to a bunch of ladies.
No,
Aye,
but he
no,
can't
I'm
sell it. He
thinking-
has to drink it to make money.
No, Leah, but I'm thinking about the clout, mate. I'm TikToking myself drinking Justin Bieber spunk. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I'm going to
This
title
is-
this podcast "Drinking 2 Litres of Justin Bieber Spunk."
that's fine, and it hopefully gets in touch. And that's, and if he offers me, fuck it, he can offer me 100k, and I'd do it.
For 2 litres, you drink 100k. Yeah, for 100k, you drink 2 litres worth.
No, 100k per one.
Okay. I
So
mean, here,
I would-
you do that 2 times, you can afford a house.
Exactly. Oh, I mean, I'd be asking for more, but just as
Yeah,
quick as it is.
Yeah, but this is the minimum that he's going to offer you in the situation.
Exactly. Easy work.
Easy work. I don't think it'd be easy. And there's no point of that would make me think, yeah, this is easy work.
It's not like drinking lemon and honey.
I wouldn't drink that. I'd rather drink his cum. But aye, right, move on, because it's getting me all excited thinking about his cum.
Okay, so to end the podcast, we're going to play a wee game, Neil.
Aye.
Now, with the lag, it might make things difficult.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Jamie, would you mind explaining, please, whilst I set up?
I'm just going to put it out there. If he's watched podcasts before, he should know.
This is for the first-time viewers.
I have. I've only made it to the game once, though, I will say. Because normally you get to football and I'm like, oh, fuck football, and just turn it off.
He does make a solid point. He does make a
That's embarrassing, that. Anyway, so with the game, it's called Hot Seat. Still waiting on that sponsor, Hot Seat. Nonetheless, what the game is it'll give you a letter. Now, with that letter, if you can choose to re-roll the letter, by the way, if the first one is not up to your satisfaction, you only do get one re-roll. Now, with this letter, what Liam will then do is read out subjects such as toiletries. Say a letter was, tea. It would be toilet, for example. Now, the idea of the game is to get 10 out of 10 for each subject. Say a word with that letter. If you do say something that's absolutely ridiculous, Liam can pass it, and it'll add 5 seconds to your time. The idea is to get 10 out of 10 as fast as you can. Now, if you do, however, DNF, which is 5 passes and or shocking, you get 1 chance at a rego. Failing that, you're out in your arse. Simple as that.
We never had a DNF before, if that makes you feel any better. Honestly, though, we have had very various times. So at the top at the moment, we've got Ewan with 27 seconds, and if you do somehow win this, if you do somehow beat that time, I would probably give you 50 quid on the spot.
I'm still gobsmacked he is even remotely near the top, never mind at the top.
Yeah, especially on Zoom. And at the bottom, we've got Duncan on 2 minutes and 8 seconds. So there's quite a variable in times on this.
Wait, no way. Ewan's was there Zoom as well?
No, Ewan's wasn't over Zoom. Ewan's was.
Oh, right. I was about to say, no, it's just the way you said that made it sound like he done it over Zoom.
No, I was saying because like Neil's over Zoom, it would be very unlikely he beats it. But hey, if you get a world record time, I will transfer 50 quid into your account. Remember as well, if you're struggling to speed up things, though, just say pass. Like James said, you have up to 5 passes, you'll be grand. But you also do get 1 try if all goes wrong. So, are you ready, Neil?
Yeah, sure.
With so much optimism. Your letter is K. Would you like to stick with K or re-roll?
Let's think.
Remember, it's things beginning with the letter K.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of words I know that begin with K.
I don't know.
The only thing I can think of now is ketamine.
Nope.
If you do say the same answer as well more than twice, I will not accept it.
Okay.
So you can't use Kellogg's 3 times. That's all I will say.
I don't know. If I were you, I'd re-roll, but it's entirely up to you.
I'm thinking re-roll.
Okay.
But
right. Let's hope it's no Z.
Let's hope.
That's a para stunt, that.
Right. Well, R is the next one, so I'd say that's a bit better.
It's a small bit.
You have to stick with it though now. Neil, are you ready?
Sure.
3, 2, 1. Word associated with winter.
Robin.
Yep. Things you sit on.
Roller coaster.
Things found on a desk.
Rubber.
Adjectives.
Raspy.
Ways to get from here to there.
Roller skates.
A fish.
Pass.
Items in this room. We'll say your room.
Retro speakers.
Things that can get you fired.
Rape.
Cities.
Rochester.
A soup flavour.
Pass.
It was looking to be such a good time.
You know something, right? See the start you had was mental.
Yeah,
the fact you said Robin and roller coaster blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like things you sit on at R, I was like Renault Clio. Like I was on a mad track and you just hit it with a roller coaster. And I was like,
I know.
I think in real life you would have been a little better.
Yeah, no. If it wasn't for like the last 3, you're going to get a sub 1 minute time. So I'm kind of gutted. Neil, with a time of, well, firstly, 8 correct. So well done for that. That's respectable. But with a time of 1 minute, 23 seconds.
It's fair.
That's shite.
So just having a look at the board, you are 4th from bottom, But you did beat some people who were actually in person and had no lag to deal with. So, you know, I'd say that's doing pretty well.
Still shite, but fuck it.
What was my score again?
110, I think. Let me check. No, 104 is your second one that you got.
So is I.
I'm so glad you're not at the top anymore. I'm so glad.
I mean, it was a brief spell at the top, let's be honest.
Yeah. But listen, Neil, cheers for coming on. I really appreciate it. You've started off 2021 in a great way. It's been fun having you. It's been good speaking to you again. It's been a while.
It's been a pleasure being here.
Thank you very much. Do you have anything you wish to promote or say before we finish?
If you ever meet Liam, give him a blowjob because he really needs it.
I mean, not during COVID. I'll accept it afterwards.
A fair assessment, though.
Yeah, so that's it.
Well, then, perfect. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard it here first. But yeah, Neil, thanks very much for coming on, mate. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great
me,
night.
guys.
But yeah, until next time then, I suppose. I've been Liam Whyte.
I've been Jamie Allan.
I've been some dude they found in the street known as Neil.
We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
We talk football and current events, sitting and chatting with the very best guests. We're two Scottish boys and we're loving it. So if you like witty banter, check the former #1 podcast on iTunes. Sitting and chatting.